Gemara on top of Gimel and Beis says, Ruchos minalan delome atzres. The Gemara asked, we had said on Gimel and Aleph that the Ruchos also don't stop. So Ruchos minalan delome atzre. How do we know that the winds don't stop? I'm Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi says, the Amar Kra, because the Pasuk says, Ki ka'arba Ruchos hashemayim parashti eschem na'um Hashem. The Pasuk says in Zechariah that like the four winds of the earth, I spread you out, says Hashem. Maika Amar, Lehu, what is he telling them? Elam, if you will say, Hachik Amar Lehu HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yisrael, that this is what Hashem is telling Bnei Yisrael, that you are going to dwell and live in the four corners and the four ruchos areas of the world. Ihachi, if so, Kit Arba, the lashon of the pasuk was Kit Arba, like the four. Bit Arba mibaile. If that was the pshat, it should have said in the four corners that they're going to live. Ella hachikam, or rather, this is what he was saying. Kashem shiyaf shel olam below ruchos, just like it's impossible for the world to exist without wind. Kach yef shel olam below Yisrael, so too it's impossible for the world to exist without Bnei Yisrael, and that's what it means. Kit Arba ruchos, like the four ruchos, I'm going to spread you out. But Bnei Yisrael will always exist, and we see from this pasuk is that the world cannot exist without wind, and therefore wind never stops. Amar Rabbi Chanina says, Hilkach b'mos hachama. If since this is true, that the winds never stop, but the rain does. So therefore, in the days of the summer, Amar Mashav Haruach Ein Machzirna. So if you say just the words Mashav Haruach, that the wind will blow, then we don't make you go back. Amar Mord HaGeshem, however, if you say the words Mord HaGeshem, that the rain should fall in the summer season when we don't want rain, so Machzirna, so we make you go back and repeat your Shemona Esrei. B'mos HaGeshamim, in the rainy season, it's the opposite. Lo Amar Mashav, if you left out the phrase that Hashem should bring the wind, in Machzirna, so we didn't make you go back, because again, the wind doesn't stop. Lo Amar Mord HaGeshem, but if you didn't tell Hashem that you want the rain to fall, so Machzirna, so again, then we make you go back. And says the Gemara below Od, not only that, so even if you say the phrase Mavir Haruach, that he should spread out the wind and Mafriach Hatan, he should divide the do, so we don't make you go back either. Meaning again, those phrases are not really relevant because the dew and the rain, and the dew and the winds never stop. The important phrase is the phrase about the rain. The Gemara continues, it was tough. By the clouds and the winds, the rabbis did not make you mention it. But if you do come to mention it, masker, you're allowed to mention it. My time. Again, ask the Gemara, why do we not make you mention the clouds? Because again, the clouds don't stop and the winds don't stop. Below Me'atzri, ask the Gemara, they don't stop. Hatani Rav Yosef, but didn't Rav Yosef teach? Ma'atzar es hashamayim. The pasuk that we say in Kriya Shema says that Hashem is going to close up the Shemayim. What's he going to close them up for? Min ha'avim min haruchos. It must be referring to, says Rabbi Yosef, the clouds and the winds. It says the Gemara Ata Omer min ha'avim min haruchos. You're telling me it's from the clouds and the winds. Oino ela min hamater. Or maybe it's really referring to the rain. Says the Gemara Kishu Omer v'lo yamatar. The next words in the pasuk are that there won't be rain. Hari matar Amar. We see that rain is explicitly said in the pasuk. So what do I establish the words that Hashem will close the heavens? Min ha'avim min haruchos. It must be that he's going to close them from the clouds and from the wind. So we have a problem now because we just said that the clouds and the wind don't stop, but the Gemara is here saying that they do stop. So kasha ruchos aruchos. We have a question of the winds on the winds. Kasha av ma'avim. We have a question of clouds and the clouds. So says the Gemara, Avim lo kasha, the question of the clouds and the clouds is not a question. Haba charfi, haba afli. This is talking about the clouds before the rain, and this time the clouds after it. I mean, the clouds before the rain, those will never stop, and therefore you don't have to daven for them. The clouds after the rain, however, will stop, and therefore you have to daven for them. Ruchos haruchos lo kasha. Again, winds on winds is not a question. Habaruach mitzuya. This is talking about a ruach that's a regular wind. Habaruach sheina mitzuya. And this is talking about an irregular wind. Ask the Gemara, Ruach Sheina Mitzuya Chazia Lebeidari. Well, if a Ruach Sheina Mitzuya, an uncommon wind, is needed, it's Chazia, it's necessary Lebeidari for the threshing floor, so shouldn't we have to daven for it? Answers the Gemara, no, Efsher B'nafusa. It's possible to use a sieve, and therefore you don't need the irregular winds to do the winnowing, because the winnowing can be done with a sieve. Therefore, we say you don't have to daven for it. Period. Now the Gemara says the following: Tane was taught ha'avim v'aruchos shnios lemata. The clouds and the winds are like secondary to rain. What that means is that they're not like rain themselves, but they're secondary in that they provide a tremendous benefit along with the rain. So ask the Gemara, Hidami, how is this so? Amar ulavitim rihuda, the basar mitra is talking about clouds and winds that come after the rain. Ask the Gemara, Lameimer Damal Yusahi. This is to say that again, wind and clouds after the rain are good. But didn't the pasuk say, Yitin Hashem es matar artzacha avak ba'afar? That Hashem is going to make the rain of your land like avak is like dirty, ashes or powder, ba'afar and dust. Right, so Hashem is going to bring this wind that's going to make it bad for you. Again, this is referring to winds after rain. So we see here in this passage that winds after rains are bad. It's going to spread all the dust and the dirt and the again all these bad things. So lo kasha, they say it's not a question. Hada asa nicha, hada asa razia. When it says that it's good is where it comes nicha, it comes calmly and softly. Hada asa razia, when it comes very strongly, then it's going to be bad. Again, hada ma'ala avak. And then the one where it's very strong, it's going to bring up all this dirty powder, this dust. That's not going to be good. This is where it's not. If it comes calmly, it's not going to raise all that dust, and therefore it's going to be good for the plants. So again, wind and clouds that are after the rain are good as long as the wind is a peaceful wind. But if it's a too strong a wind, it's not going to be good. Yehuda says Zika de basar mitra kemitra. Right, wind after rain is like rain. Eva the basar mitra kamitra. The clouds after rain is like rain, meaning it's just as valuable. Shimsha the basar mitra kitre mitra. And sunshine after rain is like two rains, meaning sunshine after rain is really, really positive because again it helps the water be sinking in and making everything grow. Ask the Gemara Lemute Mai. Well, what's he coming to exclude? He just listed everything. So we say Lemute Gilia Delilah. The Shimsha de Beni Kirche. No, it's coming to exclude Gilia Delilah means that if it's like the light of the nighttime, meaning if the rain is in the evening when you can't have the sunshine afterwards, the Shimsha de Beni Kirche, or if the sun is shining through the clouds, then again it's not going to be as beneficial because it can't really do what it needs to be doing. And those are not the positive ones. But again, the wind or the clouds or the sunshine are extremely good after rain. Now says the Gemara, Amar Rava. Rava says, Maili talga leture kachamicha mitre la'ara. Rava says that snow, talga is snow. It's the same as sheleg, the top exchange for shin in Aramaic. So talga leture kachamicha mitre la'ara. Snow for a mountain is like 5 rainstorms for the land. Shenamar, as the pasuk says, ki l'sheleg yomar hu eretz v'geshem matar v'geshem mataros. Because the snow, he says, is like land, who eretz v'geshem, and rain matar, it's rain v'geshem mataros, rain plural, it's like rain and mataros, plural mataros. We see the word geshem there rain 5 times, geshem twice, matar once, and mataros is plural, that's 5. So we see that snow is like 5 rainstorms for the land. Mataros uzo, sorry. The Amar Rava, and Rava said, Talga Lature, again, snow is good for the mountains. Mitra razia leilane, strong rain is good for the trees. Mitra nicha lapiri, soft rain is good for the fruits that are on the ground. Urpila afila parditza de tute kala mahanile. So the Gemara says urpila is even for the seeds that are under the dirt. It benefits them. Ask the Gemara, my urpila. What does this mean, urpila? So uru pili, it's short for uri pili, let the seeds wake up, and it refers to like a light drizzle rain, meaning even a very, very light drizzle, that's even going to seep in and help the seeds that are in the ground.